You know when you order something online and it just shows up super fast? Ever wonder how that actually happens? Well, the magic isn't just in the delivery truck. Nope. It starts way earlier, deep inside these gigantic warehouses, with a process that's kind of like a secret language of pure efficiency. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're going to unpack one of the most critical and, honestly, one of the smartest processes in all of logistics. Let's get into it. Okay, so picture this. 1,000 pallets. I mean, just imagine it, stacked super high with all kinds of stuff. And they've just been dropped on the receiving dock. It's like an ocean of inventory. So now what? Where does all of that go? How does it even get there? And the big one, how do you make sure you can find every single one of those items again, like instantly? This isn't a one-time thing. This is the massive challenge that every single warehouse is up against day in and day out.
Right. So if you don't have a really smart system in place, that mountain of pallets, it turns into total chaos, and fast. It's really a problem of three things: space, time, and information. And the stakes here, they're super high. We're talking about products just getting lost in a sea of boxes. We're talking about all this super valuable warehouse space just going to waste. And you know what the worst part is? It leads to those frustratingly slow deliveries that we all hate. So this isn't just about being messy, no way. This is a direct hit to a company's bottom line and its reputation.
Okay, but there is a smart solution to all this chaos. Thank goodness. It's a process, it's a strategy, and honestly, it's the unsung hero of the entire modern warehouse. And it's called Putaway. So, what in the world is Putaway? Well, to put it simply, it's the whole process of moving all those newly arrived goods from that crazy, chaotic receiving dock to a very specific, designated spot in the warehouse. Think of it as the journey from arrival to a product's perfect home on a shelf. And let me tell you, getting that journey right, it's everything. And I mean it when I say this process is a total game changer. By figuring out the perfect place for every single item, you maximize every square foot of that warehouse. You slash the time and the human effort it takes to get stuff on the shelves. It makes sure the inventory system knows exactly where everything is, down to the specific bin. And what does all that mean for you? It means when you click buy, the system finds your item and gets it on a truck, way faster than you'd think possible. All right, so how does this whole intelligent system actually work? Let's break it down. There are basically 4 key steps. This is the secret sauce, the logic that turns all that chaos into perfect automated order. Let's follow one of these products on its journey, okay? From the dock to the shelf. The brain of the whole operation is usually a super powerful software system. In this case, we're talking about SAP, which is a system that tons of the world's biggest companies rely on. The best way to think about it, it's like an expert tour guide for every single item, making all the smart decisions at every turn. Okay, step 1 is identification. The second an item comes in, the system analyzes it. What's its size, its weight, what kind of handling does it need? It also checks how much of that item is already in stock. Then, step 2, task creation. Based on all that info, the system creates what's called a warehouse task. It's basically a digital to-do list with the exact GPS coordinates for where that item needs to go. Next up, execution. This is where a person, or more and more, a robot, grabs the item and physically puts it in that exact spot. And finally, the most critical step, confirmation. The task gets scanned as done, and boom, the warehouse inventory is updated in real time. The system now knows the product's new home right down to the inch. Now, what's really cool is that a smart system like this isn't a one-trick pony. Not at all. It doesn't just use the same logic for every single product. Instead, it's got this whole playbook, a bunch of different strategies it can use depending on the situation. And this right here, this is where the system's brain power really shines. It's definitely not one size fits all. So let's say you've got a really popular item that flies off the shelves. The system might use a fixed bin strategy. Just give it a permanent home that's easy to get to. For other stuff, it might use next empty bin to just fill up space as efficiently as possible. What if more of a product you already have comes in? Easy. The add to existing stock strategy puts the new stuff right with the old stuff. Makes total sense, right? And for those huge pallet-sized shipments, they go to special bulk storage areas.
The system is basically a master strategist, choosing the perfect play for every single item. Look, this level of intelligence is a massive leap from how things used to be done. Seriously, when you compare the old manual way to this new automated approach, it's like night and day. So in the old days, a worker would be staring at a clunky screen, and they'd have to manually create something called a transfer order. They'd have to physically look at the product and then decide, okay, where should this go? The new way? Totally different. With a modern dashboard, the system is fully automated. It sees the delivery come in, and it creates the transfer order all by itself in one smooth, smart action. The person's job changes from being the decision maker to being the skinned person who carries out the plan. Here's a perfect example of this logic in action. Just imagine 2 full pallets arrive at the dock. Now, instead of a worker having to scratch their head and figure out what to do, the system just handles it. It scans the warehouse for an empty bin that's big enough for both pallets, finds one, and then automatically creates the task to move them there. It's optimizing for space and for movement, all without a person having to make a single decision. That right there is what true automation looks like.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Why does all this nerdy, behind-the-scenes logic actually matter so much in the grand scheme of things?
It matters because this whole journey, from total chaos on the loading dock to the clean, automated intelligence of the put-away process, this is the hidden engine that powers our modern on-demand world. I'm serious. Every single time you get a package in just a day or two, it's because a smart system just like this one solved 1,000 tiny little logistical puzzles absolutely perfectly.
This evolution from manual to automated put-away, it just shows you how incredibly fast this technology is moving. And it leaves us with one last really interesting question to chew on. As our warehouses get even smarter and the robots get even more capable, what's the next complex human job that's going to be fully automated away?